So, I wanted to tell you guys about my experience with guns. I loved guns my entire life, like as a kid. Like I had Nerf guns, I watched James Bond, I was like, oh, I'll be James Bond when I grow up, he's fucking awesome. I didn't know, like, you can't really do that. And I was like super into all this stuff, like the James Bond game, all this shit, right? And then when I was in high school, airsoft guns came out. Are you guys familiar with airsoft guns? Yeah, they're like plastic guns that look literally exactly like real guns. They're like replicas of real guns, which was like, young me was like, yeah, this is awesome. That's a James Bond gun. I'm getting the James Bond gun, right? Because like, you know, other kids played paintball. I was like, those are stupid. They look like alien guns. They're like bullshit, you know? I don't want to shoot paintballs. But these things shoot little plastic BBs, right? So me and my friends all bought them, and we were like shooting each other like the entire summer, right? And it was like you had to have your piece on you at all times in my neighborhood, because you didn't know if your bros were gonna have his piece. And it was like a white hood, okay? It was like the suburbs hood, all right? It was so crazy, dude. And we would go, I would tell my mom about, hey mom, me and my friends, we're gonna go play with guns. All right, see you mom, all right, yeah. And then there was a lot of construction where I lived, and everybody was like playing with these airsoft guns at this unfinished school that was being built, right? So we would go in there, and it was a construction site, it was like super awesome. And we'd go in there, and but before we'd go there, we'd meet at like a Publix parking lot, okay? And I was like so obsessed with my airsoft guns that I just bought a bunch with like all my graduation money that I was supposed to like save for like a, you know, getting my life together, but instead I had like a ridiculous armory of stupid plastic guns that I still have. I can't get rid of them. I will never throw them away. I love these things. So I had them all like laid out. I'm so obsessed with them that I bought like 2 identical ones, and I made like a dueling case. Have you ever seen like a duel? Like, there's like a velvet case, like you have a suitcase and you're like, I challenge you, sir. You slap them with your glove, and then you have like a case, and then you flip it open, and then inside there's 2 guns like 69ing each other, and they're the exact same gun because, you know, you're a gentleman and you want to be fair, right? So I made my dueling case, and that was in my car, and I was like, I spent all day on it. I went to Michael's and I made all this shit. And I told my friends, I was like, dude, this is gonna be fucking awesome. So we're meeting at the Publix parking lot, and then the fucking police show up, okay? And they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're like, I'm really bad at lying, so I was like, well, we're about to play with guns. They're not real though, so, yeah. And then everybody looked at me like, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, did you just say that? And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Did you guys come up with a line? I'm sorry. Also, I'm the tallest, so they just assumed that I was the leader of our group, which is a bullshit thing if you're tall. Like, I'm dumb, so but they're like, your head is higher off the ground than everybody else's. You must be in charge, all right? So, and then he was like, you have guns? And I was like, yeah. And then the cop was like, show me. And I was like, okay. Now, I didn't just throw them in my car in a bag. I like in an action movie, I like laid them out all like neatly and shit, and my dueling case was right there. And then the cops were like, you're a ridiculous person. I was like, yeah. And then he was like, what are these things? And they also, like, airsoft guns have like orange tips on them. Mine didn't, because they looked stupid. I cut them off or painted over them, to make them look cool. So, which is way illegal. Like, don't do that. And then the cops were like, aren't they supposed to have orange tips? Like, yeah, but he was like, yeah, that does look cooler. And I was like, thanks, officer. and then another, like, I lived in the suburbs, so like nothing ever really happened. And another cop pulled up, like, hey, other cop, what's going on? And he's like, oh, these kids are playing with guns. And then the other cop was like, cool. And I was like, this is awesome. I love this, you know? And then they were like, what's in that case? And I was like, what's in the case? Oh man, this is gonna be awesome, buddy. So I'm like, I made a dueling case, and they were like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, get ready, all right? And then I open it, and they're like, awesome. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then they did what any two like adult, like 20-ish year old dudes would do. They look at each other, the two cops, and they go, dude, let me shoot you with this airsoft gun. And then, you know, they were like, okay. And then I was like, dude, why don't you guys have a duel? And they were like, okay. And I'm like, are you shitting me? This is awesome. So two uniformed cops are in a parking lot with these two guns that totally look real. They're back to back. And I'm in the middle of them like, all right, ready, gentlemen? Okay. 1, 2, and I get to 10, and then they turn around. And it was like in a, you know, cars are like going, like, what the fuck? And they're like, bam, 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 like having a shootout with each other. And it was awesome, dude. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that was my experience with guns, guys. My name's Jeff Zenisek. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Jeff Zenisek.